The device was full of pictures. In fact, nothing but pictures.
Oh no.
Dozens of them. I opened the first one and clicked
Stalker?
through them in order.
The world we live in today is ran by computers and internet. Wouldn't you agree? There's a lot of people responsible for a lot of impressive things on computers, and criminals are in that group. When you think about the large-scale hacks that happen to get information from thousands and thousands of people, and then this information gets traded and sold online to other people that use that information maliciously. I've gotten a number of emails before claiming that people have my passwords to specific accounts and stuff like that. And naturally, most of the security software that I have and some of the security measures that I have in place warn me against these things, and I'm pretty secure now. But there was at a time that I wasn't, and I was very naive when it came to security, and I have been hacked before. And it's a really intimidating thing to see an email like that pop up, because you realize that somebody you have no idea who they are, they're completely anonymous, has information about you and threatens to use it maliciously. And it's crazy to think about. The world we live in is nuts when you think about it, man. But there's a lot of horror stories that come along with computers and cybercrime and stuff like that. And we're going to react to some today by one of my favorite animators, Horror Shorts Party. And it's being narrated by Lazy Masquerade, one of my favorite narrators. Make sure to head on over to Horror Shorts Party channel, guys. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you like reaction videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel as well. Let's get into this reaction.
I live alone in a small house in Canada.
Okay?
And this all happened about 6.5 years ago. I opened my front door one morning to go and get some groceries, and found the strangest thing waiting for me outside.
Package?
Lying on my doorstep was a small USB flash drive. Almost stepped on the damn thing.
Not good.
Who'd put that there, I thought.
I already have a bad feeling, first of all. If you have a random USB drive that you find, be careful, okay? I don't know a whole lot about the way viruses work, but I do know that malicious software can be ran on auto executables. Kind of like the way if you put a CD in a CD-ROM drive on a computer, it asks you, what would you like to do? Back in the days, you can automate things like that. You could still do it, but it was a little bit less secure. It didn't ask you what you wanted to do or how you wanted to handle that. It would just do it, okay? So sort of like putting a CD in that it was a music CD, it would just start playing music, okay? Because it just assumed that you wanted to do that. If there's an auto executable file, like an auto run, what'll happen is it can just start running. So once you plug this USB drive in, it's possible that you've already infected your computer. I have a feeling that she's gonna take this thing, put it in her computer, and see some stuff about her, maybe some private information.
It was just your generic USB stick. No label or anything. No way to know who it came from. Well, I did what anyone else would do. Took it inside and plugged it into my PC.
Alright. Of course.
The device was full of pictures. In fact, nothing but pictures.
Oh no.
Dozens of them. I opened the first one and clicked through them in order. The first few were just shots from around town, general places that I recognized. The fourth image was taken on our town's busiest street.
With her in it, though.
In the image, the street was full of people, but there was somebody in it that caught my attention immediately.
Okay.
Me. The image showed me in amongst the crowd, just minding my own business.
Right.
Well, this was a small town. Was it just a coincidence that I was in the picture?
You got a lot more pictures, girl.
The fifth image had been taken on the same day. Again, it was taken in our town. Again, I was in it. The photographer was closer to me this time.
Yep.
Whoever had taken these pictures of me, I hadn't noticed them at the time. Next came several more pictures of me in various locations around town.
Yeah.
Then, something more chilling.
Uh-oh.
A photo of a house.
Oh no.
My house.
So they followed her. Realistically, if you wanted to scare someone, okay, this would be easy to do. You wouldn't happen to need bad intentions. Let's just say you wanted to scare your friend, okay? And you got a friend that they didn't know. You said, I want you to follow them around town and film them. Now, they might notice if you do it too many times, but realistically, think about in a restaurant. Look around you and see how many people are on their phones. The phones may kind of be pointed at you. You know what I mean? But you could just be looking at it, like scrolling Facebook, but at the same time, filming, you know? If you were to take these images and put them on a drive and put them on their doorstep, knock and run away or something like that, I would think that this would be very, very, very unnerving to the individual, and the friend would hear about it. Man, you ain't never gonna guess what happened to me. I found this USB drive on my doorstep, and it had a bunch of pictures of me around town. You know, it would freak him out pretty bad. You could do a good April Fool's like this, but this, I have a feeling, is sinister intent.
It was nighttime in the image, and the living room light was on.
Mm-hmm.
I clicked through to the next picture. It was another image of my house, this time taken even closer.
Yep.
Through the living room window, you could see me sitting on the couch, watching television. I could tell from the clothes I was wearing that it had been taken the night before.
All right.
I had no idea that somebody had been outside watching me.
Of course not.
I kept clicking through the images on the drive. Photo after photo of me inside my house, taken from just outside my window.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was so light inside and so dark outside, I was
Couldn't
totally
tell.
unable to see that somebody was watching me from out there.
Right.
I couldn't see them, but they could see me, clear as day. Didn't even need to use the flash on their camera. After 20 or so photos of just me inside my house, there came a real curveball.
Uh-oh.
An image taken from inside my hallway.
I didn't even see that coming, but holy crap. Now things got real. Are they in your house right now? Oh, I think I would just go, if I was in my bedroom, I think I would just go out the bedroom window. Like, let's say I'm in my office right now, okay? There's a door right there, okay? I can get out this window realistically, so for me, it'd be easy. But let's say you're on the second floor. Because this is a 2-story house is what it looked like. You just go out your window. Screw going through the house and possibly get murdered. Go outside right now, call the cops from the roof. He gonna have to come out there and catch you. That's the way I see it. He or she, it could be a female murderer too, you never know.
The man or woman or whoever was taking these pictures of me had been inside my house the night before.
Crazy, man.
There were photos of my living room, now lightless and empty, obviously taken after I'd gone to sleep. Photos of my kitchen, of my dining area, my stairwell, and several taken as the unknown person ascended my stairs towards where I was sleeping. My brain started to run wild with thoughts about who had been following me. Had I wronged someone in the past? Said the wrong thing to the wrong guy? Was this just some weirdo who'd decided to target me?
Yeah.
Were they armed when they came to pay me a visit?
Oh my gosh.
Whatever the case, somebody had come inside my house at night and taken pictures of all of the rooms.
They could still be there.
Including my bedroom.
While they were sleeping.
The second to last photo was of me, fast asleep in my bed, totally oblivious to the person in my home. The final image was just of a handwritten note, framed in close-up. The message on it simply read, "Never hide a spare key under your doormat." I've since moved house.
Wow. Yeah. Big lesson learned here, y'all. I mean, putting a key outside accessible to someone is it's scary. A lot of people do it, right? I have a spare key that I only put out in emergencies. Like when I need, like when we're going on vacation and my son's coming. It's a very specific hiding spot, and yes, it could be found. Yes, I could be observed placing the key there, but it's not very obvious, okay? The right way to do this, I'm going to tell you now, it's an expensive way to do this, but the right way to do this is have something with a combination lock that has your house key in it, in a remote location. So let's say you have a storage shed. Get a box, put a padlock on it, have the key in it. If that box ever gets stolen, you change your locks. It's that simple. Or mount the box somewhere. Mount the box somewhere that they couldn't possibly rip it out without tools. And those same tools could easily just have been used to go into your house, like crowbars and stuff. It's very easy to prevent. It's not cheap, but you could do it. I would suggest, if you don't do that already, do it. It's just a good safety measure, right? I don't do it personally, but there you have it. All right, story 2.
This all took place a couple of years back. I was walking my dog through a local park late one night and decided to take a little break on one of the park benches.
All right.
I sat down and immediately felt something under my butt. It was a USB flash drive, which had either been forgotten or abandoned by somebody.
Now that's different. You didn't find that on your doormat. You found this on a park bench. Now, honestly, it's probably not malicious. I would probably insert it in my computer and look at this point, because it could just be interesting. You never know. Could be some games or something. I'd have to. Curiosity would get me. I'd look at it.
I waited around for maybe 5 minutes to see if somebody would come back and claim it. Nobody did, so I just put it in my pocket. Like I said, it was late at night, so the park's lost and found area was closed.
All right.
I planned to head back there in the morning before work and hand it over. Maybe the owner might come by and collect it. Probably a student who had some work assignments on it, I figured.
For sure. Now, that's obvious and
as I sat at
reasonable
home,
thinking.
my curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to take a quick look at what was on the USB.
Of course.
I plugged it into my computer and checked its contents.
Little black book.
Strange. There was only one file on the USB. An Excel file, of all things. Some poor schmuck must have lost this thing after its first use. The file was simply titled Little Black Book.
Okay.
Needless to
All
say,
numbers?
I opened the document.
Right.
It was just a large collection of names, addresses, and numbers. Mr. X, Tudor Hill Drive, 52,750. Mrs. Y, Springfield Avenue, 47,300. Dr. Z, Deacon Street, 52,200.
Hit
etc.
list?
The list
Ransom?
ran on and on. Probably 40 or 50 names and addresses in total.
Those weird numbers. It's not dollar amounts, are they? That would be weird dollar amounts to have, but they're all in the neighborhood of 30 to 50,000. Deep Web Drive. Oh, it's just some random names, but it's all Mr. and Mrs. Like it's not. That's so weird.
At least 25 of them have been highlighted in red. The rest were just in black. Strange. Why would someone go through the trouble of making an Excel file with all this information in it, then saving it onto an empty USB as the only file?
Without a password.
Were these someone's clients? Someone's friends? I had no idea. And what were the numbers next to each name supposed to mean? They were all in the same ballpark, between 30 and 60,000. And I decided to dig a little deeper and look up a few of the names and addresses.
All right.
Just to sate my curiosity, I started with a couple of the names in black. It looked like these really were real people and their real addresses.
Mr. Horse Shorts Party. YouTuber who eats Burger King foot lettuce? What?
Okay. Still didn't give any indication about what the numbers meant, though. I looked up one of the names in red. Mr. X. That's when things took a darker turn.
All right.
Mr. X was indeed a real person.
Died.
And the address listed was indeed his. But he had passed away a few years back under mysterious circumstances.
Oh.
The same was true of Mrs. Y, Dr. Z, and all the other names listed in red on the document.
Okay.
They'd all perished, either under mysterious circumstances or through some sort of unfortunate accident. Starting to worry that this USB might have belonged to someone in the cleanup business, so to speak. I began to put the pieces of the puzzle together and figured I knew what the numbers next to each name meant. They were the amount that the people had been contracted for. This was a hit list.
So when I saw those weird numbers like 40,494, why 494? You would think it would be round numbers if it would be hits, right? That's the only thing that I didn't get clued in on, but I kind of thought it was a hit list. So what's going on with the black names?
I immediately called up the authorities
People
and
that
handed
haven't
the
died
USB
yet,
over to them,
maybe.
telling them where I'd found it and
Yeah.
what the information pertained to. They took it from there, and I haven't heard anything else about it since.
Well, you wouldn't.
Had somebody left the USB on the bench intentionally for somebody else to come and collect? Or had it simply fallen out of the owner's pocket? I still don't know. Probably never will. But I'm glad that nobody came by that park bench during those 5 minutes I waited around.
Right.
It was dark. The park was completely empty. And the owner or collector really wouldn't have wanted that USB to fall into somebody else's hands.
No.
Who knows what they might have done.
You know, you gotta be a stupid killer to use a USB drive without password protecting it, first of all, if you got your hit list on it. You know, I would think something like that would be very well encrypted. Very well encrypted and much more secure than it was with that, but still very, very, very scary, man. Maybe some fingerprints could be picked up from it too if they were silly enough not to password protect it with a simple password. They probably weren't smart enough to wipe their fingerprints off of it too. Crazy, man. Horror Stories 4 has such some great stories, man. Make sure to check him out as well, guys, as some more videos that I reacted to him. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time. Break it down.